Today I'm going to talk about the question I get asked most frequently: how true to size is this shoe? 6.12 miles, 8 minutes, 41 seconds per mile today. It was super cold. The temperature dropped really fast, and I was definitely not warm enough for today. We had a stiff headwind as well, and so today's run was just one of those days where it was not exactly fun, but I am glad I got the miles in. But today I want to talk about sizing, and a question that I get all the time, which is how true to size is this shoe? Now, this is a question that comes up all the time, and I think that the reason for it is a couple of things. A lot of you guys are watching from outside the US, and you may not have an opportunity to go and try on a lot of these shoes in person, although you have the opportunity to order them online. Or if you're in the US, you may not be near a running store or like a Nike store. I'm lucky in Chicago where there's a Nike store, Under Armour, Adidas stores, all flagship level, and multiple running stores that I can choose from. But sometimes it's just annoying to get there. I've got 2 kids, I got a job, and so a lot of times it just doesn't fit in my schedule to go and try a bunch of shoes on. And so I'd rather just buy stuff online. And so to do that, you have to kind of guess your size and buy it blind without having a chance to see what it looks like on your feet, or without getting a chance to try them on and see how they feel. Now, for the most part, the answer to whether a shoe is true to size is almost always yes. Now, all 6 of those shoes that I showed you, 3 Nikes and 3 from other brands, a New Balance, Hoka, Salomon shoe, are all size 9s, and they're all true to size. Do they fit the same? Absolutely not. Not even the Nikes fit all the same within its brand. Size 9, the size doesn't tell you the whole story, and it's a lot like buying pants. So for men, the size is usually by the waist, and it's a number of inches around your waist. So I'm around a size 30 these days, and so I can buy a size 30 pant, but depending on the fit or the cut of the pant, I might get a very different feel, and certain pants might be more comfortable than other pants. So if I get a pair of pants from Old Navy in the regular or relaxed fit, those are going to be super baggy, and I'm going to feel like I'm swimming in them, even though they fit exactly on my waist. Now, if I then go and get a skinny fit, I'm going to feel very different, even though they both fit in the waist. And so that's something to keep in mind. So when you have a shoe like the Nike Zoom Fly Flyknit, that's going to feel very slim across your foot. The toe box is going to be a little bit small. The base of the foot is going to be very narrow because this is intended for going fast. But if you have something else like the Salomon Predict RA, which is designed more for kind of being a daily driver, this is more of what I would consider a relaxed fit. When I put it on from heel to toe, it fits exactly the same as the Nike Zoom Fly Flyknit fits from heel to toe, but everything else fits much differently. The toe box is a lot wider, and then the depth or the volume of the toe box is a lot bigger. I think a lot of times people ask if a shoe is comfortable as well, and there it's a very vague term, and I really don't like it, but I use it as well. But when people say comfortable, I think they mean one of 2 things. How does it feel around the foot? Does your foot feel like it's wrapped in like the netting they put around, like the shrink wrap they can put around like a frozen turkey? The other comfortable that people are talking about is how does it feel when your foot touches the ground as you're stepping in it, and that's also going to be very depending on not only the type of midsole it has, but a lot of times that comfortable feeling that people are looking for or asking about comes from the insole, or the part that slides in the shoe in between your sock and foot and the shoe itself. And so that's where like the comfortable kind of comes from. In my experience, I'm not a shoe professional. I don't work in the shoe industry. I don't make shoes or work with people that make shoes for a living. So I'm approaching this from just someone who wears a lot of shoes and gets to try out a lot of different shoes. So some of the terminology even that I use is going to be very vague, but it's a lot of the same terminology that you guys are using. So hopefully we're communicating and on the same page. And that's ultimately the whole point of this video, is that almost all the shoes that I've ever reviewed are true to size. From the heel to the toe, it's a size 9. It fits. My foot fits in there. But in terms of how comfortable is it, or how does the fit feel? Is it a relaxed fit, or is it a straight cut, or is it a boot cut, or is it a skinny jean? That's going to come down to a lot of the times the width. Some companies will make some of their shoes in a variety of widths. The Pegasus 35 is one of those shoes that they make enough of that they also provide them in a lot of widths. A lot of other brands like New Balance and Brooks, I know that they make tons of their shoes, a much higher percentage of their shoes, in a lot of different widths. I don't know if it's all their shoes, but it seems to be a lot of them in a variety of widths. And so you still have the same heel to toe size, but the width of the shoe might be wider. And so I think that if you have a wide foot, or if you have a narrow foot, that would be something that I would look for, so you get a shoe that fits you all around. I know what a lot of people do, and it makes sense that they do it, is let's say you have a shoe that doesn't come in a width, but you need a wider toe box, then they might size up. Right? And so then what ends up happening is the shoe becomes a little bit bigger, and then your foot doesn't quite fit in it. There's a little bit of room at the top, but the width also gets wider, and so then it accommodates you there. And so kind of the lesser of two evils, rather than being jammed into a toe box, they would give a little bit of space up front. So I know a lot of you guys are living with that issue. There's only been 2 times where I found a shoe doesn't fit true to size. And one is a pair of native rain boots that I have. I don't know if it's that material. It's that super soft, weird, squishy material. That one, I've got like a thumb width between the top of my toe and the top of the shoe, even though it's a size 9. I don't know what's going on with that. And the other is the Pegasus Turbo. For whatever reason, I think it might be because I got an early sample. Although from everything I can tell, I don't think it's from a sample run. I think it's from the full production run. But I did get it a little bit early from Nike. And that shoe, for whatever reason, it felt like it wasn't the right size. And here it is, the Pegasus Turbo. And for whatever reason, it didn't feel like it was the right size from heel to toe. I felt like it was just a little bit short. But mainly, the problem was the shallowness of this toe box. It seemed really small. And so my foot, the toes were getting really jammed up right in this area here. And so this is the only shoe that I've ever given sizing advice not to get true to size. I did recommend for some people, if you're normally a toe box is a problem for you person, definitely size up. I did try going back to get these in a 9.5, but they just felt cavernous. I felt like I had a ton of space, more than a thumb's width, for between the top of my toe and the top of the shoe when I tried the 9.5 on. The toe box did feel fine, but it was just, I didn't like that compromise. So I've been staying in the 9s in this, and it hasn't been the most comfortable for me because of how slim. It's just too skinny of a fit for me to really enjoy this shoe enough. So all the shoes that I've ever reviewed for this channel, with the exception of the Turbo, they all fit true to size, and they all fit a little bit differently, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Before I go today, I want to talk about today's charity runner. Today's charity runner was sent to me by Amy Dardinger on Instagram. She sent me a link to Lindsey Hein's charity running page. Lindsey is the host of a podcast. I'll have another. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. But she is raising money for the Donna Foundation. The Donna Foundation is an organization that raises money for breast cancer research. There is going to be a Donna Marathon Weekend in Florida, I think in February, coming up in 2019. And Lindsey, she has her own personal story involving breast cancer. And she's highly supportive of this group, and she has pledged to raise $10,000 for the Donna Foundation leading up to this marathon weekend. So a very ambitious goal, very generous goal. And so I've donated $10 to help her out, and I'll post links to all of both Amy and Lindsey's information in the description if you want to go learn more. What I try to do on the channel here is every day I try to spotlight a different charity runner, give them at least $5, and tell you guys about what event they're running and why they're running it. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yo, what's going on?